What's up, YouTube? Wanted to come at you once again. I had another video I wanted to make today. This is about Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I don't know if you guys have heard of her, but she's been all over the place in the black podcasting field, I would say. First time I think I heard of her, she was on Cam Newton, and I think she did Nick Cannon. But after that, I think she recently was on a podcast with Paul Pierce. Basketball player, used to play for the Celtics, better known as The Truth, and I think she probably should have saw that omen coming before she hopped on there. But anyway, let's dive into it, guys. If you guys do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, comment if you've seen it or you agree with my take. But if you don't agree, comment anyway. Welcome all opinions here. But anyway, so the gist of it is, if you give a quick rundown of who, how I got to know Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, because like I said, I don't know too much about her, but I've seen her on a couple podcasts. The first time I seen her was on Cam Newton podcast. Cam Newton was a football player for my beloved Panthers, and great athlete. I really felt like he should have brought us home a Super Bowl, but he did take us to the big game. So. But anyway, Cam has a lot of kids, and I think Cam has, I'm not sure how many, but it's a good little bunch. He has 3 different baby mamas. So the first time she was on there, and he's not married, he's looking to make more children, whatever. First time she was on there, she really dug into Cam, right? She had a lot of great talking points, and I think Cam wasn't expecting it, right? He didn't know how she was going to come in, and she kind of ripped him up a little bit. Said he's out here creating broken homes. Which is a little different because Cam has the financial means to take care of his children versus some guys who create broken homes don't have the financial means, but they don't. That hasn't stopped them from doing it. I mean, a broken home is still a broken home, regardless of what your finances are. But at the same time, that's what she lit into him about, and she proclaims herself to be a relationship guru, and really, getting people to do better, right? That's her stick. Is she wants people to do better and wants women to only deal with men who are healed. That was her whole thing. Saying Cam wasn't healed and he had some trauma he needed to figure out and be a better version of himself and really start showing up. And she pretty much did the same thing to Nick Cannon. And those particular guys were kind of easy targets because of the lifestyle that they created for themselves. I mean, with multiple children in different homes, so they were kind of teed up for her to, really crush it, right? And she came across really sounding really intelligent, and I'm not taking away from her intelligence at all by my criticism. It's the circumstances were in her favor on those podcasts. But if you haven't seen it, you should go check out the podcast with Paul Pierce. I think he hosted with another young lady. And she was on another podcast that I've seen before, so apparently they're doing their thing together. But anyway, Paul Pierce, being who he is, I don't know if you know anything about Paul Pierce, but he's the truth for a reason, right? Paul Pierce decided, to ask us some really questions about her own personal life, which is weird to me that no one else thought that was a good idea to do, right? And maybe they did, but they just didn't have the swag that Paul Pierce has, or maybe Paul has some insight about her that other people didn't, which made him ask those questions. So basically, he goes on and asks a question about her personal life, who she's dating, and she says, she has a couple companions, right? That's red flag number 1. So you telling everybody else in the world they should date intentionally and do all these great things with the men, do all these great things as far as being a more conservative, reserved woman, because you're telling men that they should do the same, right? So with that particularly said, she goes on and says she has multiple companions, right? So how you gonna have multiple companions but you out here criticizing men for doing the same? So that's one thing. The second thing when Paul really started digging into her, she admitted that she got this one guy she's been dealing with for 5 years, right? So out of her multiple companions that she has a one companion that's been on again, off again, relationship. One of the things that she is an advocate against, playing, wasting your time with dealing with one person that's not ready to commit, right? And she goes on further to say he's not ready to commit because he has some maturity and some emotional things he needs to work on, which would behoove me as Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. You should be like, look, I was dealing with a guy, he couldn't get his things together, so like I teach my people, and like I teach my students and anybody who I'm talking and counseling, time to move on. But apparently you're not. And then I think she trips up over her words. You guys would, check out the video, but she says, well, she's not vitamin D deficient. I mean, she's getting it in with one of her companions, right? Maybe not might not be the guy that she's been in with the relationship for 5 years. Maybe one of the other companions. But basically she says she's not vitamin D deficient. So when Paul calls her out on that, why are you messing with a guy and y'all getting it in and, you his work or he your work or y'all working together if you're not, in a serious relationship with him? She's like, well, who says that we're dealing with each other? We're doing that. I mean, he's like, well, you say you're not vitamin D deficient, so now that makes you look even more crazy. So if you're going to sit there and say, who says that we doing that, when you say you're not deficient in that department, I mean, you getting it in, who you getting it in from? Either it's the guy you on again, off again, and you still seeing other guys while you getting it in from one guy, or you getting it from multiple guys because you're trying to pick and choose who you want, or one of the guys you're getting it in with and you still stringing his brother along. The other thing she said, this guy's 9 years younger than her. So now you emotionally manipulating this guy, right? You say sometimes he want to be with you, then you're like, oh, he's not able to facilitate you. Her words, facilitate, which to me would say that he's not able to provide for me in my lifestyle. Yeah, that's what facilitate means. I'm not able to organize. I'm not able to pretty much put you in a situation to where you can thrive based off of what I got going on. So she's saying that makes him feel insecure because he can't do that, but yeah, you're still dealing with him because he need to do work. Why are you dealing with somebody on again, off again for 5 years if you're telling everybody else that they shouldn't be doing that? All right? And I came on here and I wanted to do it real quick because I wanted everybody to just start the conversation. But you got to be careful, and that's including me. You got to be careful with people who claim to know everything, because I'm just a guy, right? The things I speak through are just personal experience, and I try to be as truthful as possible. But what I found is that most people, when they're on these platforms, they present themselves as better than what they actually are, and they tend to give advice based off of what they want people to do and not what they've done themselves, right? And I know it's hard because you present yourself to the world, you're on the internet, you want to put your best foot forward, but what happens is the truth will always come to light, right? So if you're not living what you laying down, somebody's gonna find out. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to make a quick follow-up video. I had a previous video I put out earlier. If you guys can check that out as well, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button, comment if you've seen the video. Go watch the video and come back. Comment here, comment there, comment everywhere. You know what I mean? You definitely want to get the conversation started because I think that she played herself. My own personal opinion.